What is up, guys? How we doing? How we doing? For my 6 football fans out there, I'm pretty sure you knew I was going to make a video on this. I've just been waiting to see if Aaron was actually going to come to the team or not. As a Steelers fan with a conscience, I can confidently say I do not want him to be on the team. It does not seem like Pittsburgh learned their lesson from last year and just want to repeat the same damn thing. I do not get it. Russell was a clear bust. We got rid of Fields, which I don't agree with. Not a big enough sample size, and if anything, you could say he played better than Russell. Less turnovers, more red zone trips ending in touchdowns. So, yeah, Russell averaged 40 to 50 more yards a game, but he was turning it over and got in the red zone left. Those are less. Those are two very important things. Getting rid of Fields, dumb. Getting rid of Russ, not a bad move. But now they're wanting to do the same exact thing. Bring in a washed up quarterback. I mean, I love that we got Metcalf. I think he has potential to do better on Pittsburgh than the Seahawks right now. But at the end of the day, these are older players that don't have a lot of time. So best case scenario, what happens? Aaron Rodgers comes in. Maybe we do decent, but we have no run game. We have Pickens and Metcalf now, but Metcalf doesn't, we're going to have to see. We don't know that he's going to do great. And so while we have another weapon, sure, best case scenario, we go to a wild card and lose again. And then it's not like we're going to re-sign Aaron, or if we do, it's not like he has that many years left in him. We need to rebuild. It seems like Pittsburgh is doing everything in their power to avoid rebuilding. Here's the cold water. We need a losing season. We do. We're spoiled. We have not seen Pittsburgh have a losing season in almost 20 years. How long has it been? It's been a long ass time. But we need to lose. We need to tank. We need a bad year. We need to rebuild because, dude, I like that we're eyeing the Alabama quarterback in the draft. I think that's smart. We need a young quarterback. And I love Mike Tomlin. I will not get on the Mike Tomlin hate train. But maybe, just maybe, it's time to get a different head coach too. Because the fact is like when... Before Big Ben left, like the last couple of years, the team was starting to fall apart. The running game was falling apart. Weapons were gone, right? Big Ben was chucking it 50 times a game. And then he quit. Then we got we had Matt Canada then, and he was just terrible, and that's why Big Ben was great, is because he could call his own plays. But then we brought in a young Kenny Pickett, and Matt Canada showed why he's one of the worst offensive coordinators to ever be part of the NFL. And then Kenny Pickett did great without Matt Canada, got hurt, we got rid of him. Now he has a ring. Wow, the way of the world. Bringing in Aaron Rodgers ain't going to accomplish anything. Absolutely zilch, It won't push us from being anything better than mediocre. And we are in the worst spot in football right now. I've been saying that. Like, we stay perfectly mediocre, not good enough to win a playoff game, not getting any good draft picks, just staying, just right there, And bringing in Aaron Rodgers is not the answer. Have you ever listened to that guy talk? First of all, we're the reason Aaron Rodgers has a ring. I'll never forget that. Second of all, have you ever heard the man talk? He is the most self-absorbed, full of himself man there is. And the fact that, he doesn't owe us a decision, I guess, but the fact that we're allowing him to just take as long as he wants to make a decision already shows you what it would be like if he played for us. That's us allowing Aaron to push us around. And if he were to be on the team, that's all he would do. I want no part of him being on the team. I'm good. I will not deny his talent and that he is an amazing player, was an amazing player. And it's sad to see this wave of quarterbacks go. It is. But, dude, the only thing to be jealous about when it comes to Aaron Rodgers is the fact that somehow he snagged Olivia Munn for a short period of time. That woman must be a saint or a narcissistic asshole just like him. I don't know. But she's one of the most beautiful women to walk the earth. What she saw in him, I don't get it. Because every time he speaks, he says nothing. He says, watch the Pat, God damn it, what's his last name? The Pat McAfee interview and just see what I'm talking about. Like, his announcement is that he doesn't have an announcement. It's ridiculous. And Pittsburgh needs to rebuild. And it's gonna be a while. We're not gonna come out next year and be Super Bowl contenders. We're not going to come out the next year after that and be Super Bowl contenders either. We are not going to be relevant for a while. Bengals tighten up their defense. Ravens and Bengals are going to be the top two for a minute. We have to start over. And that's how it is. When you have a great team, when you have a team like Pittsburgh and the way they've been the last 2 decades, it has to end at some point. Look at the Patriots, right? They went from the best team in football to probably the best dynasty that will ever happen in football, and look at them now. Every team's got to go through this phase at some point, and we got to go through it. We can't keep avoiding it by drafting, these old veteran quarterbacks that once were great, but now not so much, and hope that solves our issue. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. There are so many problems. First of all, we need a young quarterback that we're going to stick with, so our offensive coordinator doesn't have to deal with 3 or 4 different players, Like, that's a big problem, too, is that the offensive coordinator after Matt Canada has had to deal with 3 different quarterbacks since then. Had to deal with Pickett the one game, then Fields, then Russ. That can't be easy. We need a young quarterback. And what I love about Fields is, imagine he was still on the team and now having Metcalf. I don't care what you say. Fields showed that he can throw the ball. Like, what he was lacking was his decisiveness, which gets better through playing. 6 games ain't enough. And he made some incredible throws, and the versatility of having those legs and having a player like Metcalf that can turn a 20-yard pass into a 50-yard gain, right? Like, Fields would have been good to have. Getting rid of him was stupid. The Giants signing Russ after seeing what he did is funny. The only good game Russ had was against a record-breaking defense, and I don't mean record-breaking as in a great defense. I mean record-breaking as in horrible defense. The Bengals, that's the only good game Russell had. If you actually look at the stats, Russell really brought nothing, And his deep ball didn't really make the run game that much better. It made it a little bit better, but Harris, we just traded him for a reason. And so we don't have a run game established. We don't have a pass game established. And I don't like, we really don't have a proven offensive coordinator. We have a proven head coach, but I really don't like the decisions that Mike Tomlin has been making in the last year. I'll say it. The last 2 years. I don't. I do not like when we decided to put in Russell. We were coming off of a Raiders win, and we obliterated them. Fields had a hell of a day. Harris had a hell of a day. We kicked their ass. And then we had the Jets and the Giants. 2 games that would have been an opportunity for Fields to shake off more of, that indecisiveness, more of that, more. It would have been an opportunity, 2 easy teams for him to play against. We would have won no matter who we started at quarterback. And then we started playing good teams and see how Fields does against those good teams. And then if we start tanking, then put in Russ. I do not like the decision that we put in Russ with the Jets. I know they did that because they wanted Russ to shake off the rust against a bad team. But no, that was stupid. give it to Fields so he can have two awful teams to play against and get rid of some of those jitters. Don't agree with the decision to get rid of Fields. I would go with the quarterback from Alabama, draft him, and rebuild, baby. That's the phase that we're in. Last year was a complete wasted year, and I got shit on by every Pittsburgh fan group because I said this is going to be a waste of a year. We're going to start Russell, we're going to lose in the first postseason game, and then we're going to learn nothing. Because this year could have been spent using Fields, finding out if he's the answer or not, if we need to draft somebody. And this year needs to be building up a young quarterback. I don't care if he's bad. I don't. Look at Peyton Manning's rookie season. Not everybody comes out like Tom Brady with an amazing team built around him. The problem is y'all can blame Fields all day, but we don't have that great. Our defense, solid. But the offense, we don't have that many weapons. We don't have a good run game. So you can't really put that all on Fields, you know? Tom Brady came in, Big Ben came in and excelled because of the offense that we had, the weapons, the run game. Like Mahomes, another example. Like, these players are coming in to very, very talented teams and did good. You know, Fields comes in with a terrible team, with a new OC, and did the best he could. And honestly, in my eyes, he did better than Russell. He did. Sorry, I don't think those 40 yards extra a game that Russell was getting us was worth the turnover every game in important moments and not converting in the red zone as much. We were making less points despite those 40 extra yards and giving the team giving the opponent more points. That's the facts. So, yeah, I would have loved to see us keep Fields. We signed Mason Rudolph back. Dude's got heart, but he isn't it. And yeah, I think we go with drafting the Alabama quarterback. I forgot his name. I'm sorry, but I know Alabama takes their football seriously, so I know he's got to be decent. But the fact is we can't this is how it is. We're the 21st pick, dude. Right in the middle of the road, you know? So we have to have a bad season. We need a total rebuild, and we're doing everything to avoid that. If Aaron Rodgers plays for us, we will just waste another year that could have been spent rebuilding. And I do not want his narcissistic diva ass on the team. Sorry, Aaron. You're every sentence that comes out of your mouth does not make sense. You are full of yourself. You're great. You're great at the game. You choke in the playoffs. Let's be real. Yes, I will always be a little bit jealous that you beat us in the Super Bowl in 2010. I will never get over that. It's the last time I got to see my beloved Steelers in the goddamn big game. I will always be mad over that. That we're the reason Aaron Rodgers has a ring. But there's a reason why you don't have more Aaron. So just retire, man. And I feel like the Steelers allowing Aaron to just take as much time as he wants so he doesn't have to deal with the offseason, like, training, is already letting him push us around. Fuck that. Him coming to the team is not going to make us better. We will be middle of the road still. If we start the new young quarterback from Alabama or Mason Rudolph and we do terrible, that is okay. At least we get some decent draft picks out of it. You know, like, worst case scenario is Aaron comes in, we have a mediocre year like this year, we learn nothing, we do nothing, we go into the offseason more confused than we did going into last offseason, and just waste another year. We got to get through it. We got to go through the pain. There's your cold water, Pittsburgh. Wake up. Am I the only Pittsburgh fan with a conscience? I do not get it. I legitimately saw people all year long saying that Russ was going to take us to the Super Bowl. Delusional. Absolute delusion. I will admit, after the Bengals game, I thought for a moment that, hey, if we can play like this, if Russ can put up those types of numbers, maybe we have a shot. But what did I say at the end of that video? You got to keep in mind we're playing a record bad defense here. This could be a fluke, and that's what it ended up being, a fluke. That was Russ's only good game. That was the only game Russ played that was like Russ is cooking. And people were saying that every game when he was averaging like 230 yards. He had several games under 200 yards, just like Fields. Like hell. Fields had... Doesn't matter anymore. Fields isn't on the team. I think it was stupid to get rid of him. And the reason why I'm saying I think maybe it's time to move on from Mike Tomlin isn't because I think Mike Tomlin isn't a good coach. I think he's an amazing coach. But a total rebuild... Tomlin is used to coaching talented veterans, and I just feel like with the direction we need to go in, maybe it would be a good idea to get a new coach. A total rebuild, dude. We're going to suck for a decade. That's how it is. But it's either we tank and we suck for a little while, or we continue to be mediocre and do what we've been doing for the last 10 years, which is get to the postseason and do nothing. So, which would you prefer? 10 years of shit or 30 years of mediocrity? Because let's be real here, if we keep going at this rate and just switching quarterbacks every year, getting this guy, hoping he's going to solve all the problems, we're going to go nowhere. So, Baltimore and the Bengals are going to be the top two. I mean, look at the Bengals, all right? They're tightening up their defense. I think they're going to be scary next year. And I like Joe Burrow. I think he's better than Patrick Mahomes. Anyway, love you.